Hello YouTube, this is Callum from EnglishShooting, and I've got a bit of a different video today. I've got a Trijicon ACOG here, and I'm actually selling this on behalf of a friend. And I thought just before the buyer came and picked it up from me, I'd make a little review video. Now I say review video, I don't think it's fair, if you have a quick look around, I don't think it's fair to use this specific scope to build an opinion on ACOGs or Trijicon as a brand. There are certain notes that you can take away from this, which we'll talk about in a minute, but you can see it's battered and bruised. The fibre optics there, it's cracked and bruised. There's a little chip in the glass at the back there, and you can just see it's been very, very well used. So I really don't want to build a full opinion on this scope, and I don't want to give you guys an opinion on this scope based on this specific one, but it's got an interesting story behind it, and I've got pretty much a £1,500 optic in my hand, and I couldn't resist making a video for it. So the closest thing at the moment online on the Trijicon website that relates to this model is the Trijicon ACOG TA11. This has a 3.5 magnification and a 35mm objective. It's got a dual illuminated amber chevron. You can get that in a variety of different colours. I think you can get it in green and reds, and as well as the amber, and you can get many different reticles. So you can get dots, you can get the dual chevron, you can get a single chevron, but as I said, this has just got the dual illuminated amber chevron. Now for those of you that don't know how the ACOG actually works, it's got an element in it called tritium. It's I believe almost like a radioactive substance, so it's emitting that energy in the form of light. As it's decaying, it's emitting the light. So even in pitch black conditions, you can see the reticle. There's no batteries, there's no power, but you can still see the reticle. On the battlefield, in combat, which these are designed fully to be in, you don't want to run out of batteries at the wrong moment. So that's just a really sort of ingenious feature there, and it works really, really well. Even in this battered condition, in my pitch black room, I was able to see the reticle on it, and in daylight it shines really bright. You have no problem seeing that reticle during bright conditions either. The actual things you get to play with on this are pretty slim. The only things you can adjust are obviously the windage and elevation just under these sort of waterproof caps. They screw off and you have the normal sort of notch system to be able to adjust for windage and elevation. This model here actually comes with the Trijicon Picatinny mount. So this thing on its own I think is about £150. So it comes with that, it's ready to go, you can mount that straight on your rifle. But apart from that, it is what it is. As I said, it's got a 3.5 times magnification, which for me is the main reason that personally I don't like this scope. It's a great scope if you're sort of doing longer distances, but trying to use this as a primary sort of red dots scope, for me it's a little bit useless, because as soon as you get to sort of 20 yards, 20 meters, it's blurry, you can't see it, you can't get the relief to be able to use it properly. The upside to that is because there's not many moving parts, because there's not much to play with, this thing is practically bulletproof, and that's where the interesting story comes. This was actually picked up off of the battlefield out in, I think it was in Iraq or Afghanistan, so this has seen action. It has been there, done it, and been used for its intended purpose, hence why it is so battered. Now the way that my mate managed to get hold of this is that, you know, he's not in the army, he wasn't there, he didn't get the t-shirt, luckily he didn't have to do that, but he traded a gun. I think he traded his CZ22 rifle for a Ruger. Now the CZ is worth more than the Ruger, or the one that he got, so the guy basically threw this in to make up the difference. So although I don't want to do a proper review of it because of the condition it's currently in, I haven't got the box, I haven't got all the paperwork, the one thing that I can say categorically is that these things are built like tanks. They are built to last, and they are built for that military, out in a war zone, not let you down sort of purpose. You don't need batteries. It's not going to suddenly turn off. It's going to be there waiting ready when you need it, and it's going to take punishment. You're going to be able to chuck it around. You're going to be able to throw it in the dirt. You're going to be able to do whatever you want with it, and it's just going to keep taking it. It's just going to keep performing and doing exactly what you want. So if you are looking at the longevity of one of these scopes, you really don't need to worry, because proof is in the pudding here. I really hope that you've enjoyed this video, even if I couldn't give a proper full review of it, but needless to say, it's still a cracking little piece to look at and, you know, have in your hands and have a play with. So thank you very much for watching this video. I really do hope you found it interesting, and as always, I hope to see you soon.